Welcome back. Last we left off, you guys were continuing to sail on your journey, your 10-day journey to get over to Cygnus and to get over to Victor and the Twilight Cabal. On your way there, of course, you ran into a Kraken in a previous session, and but there was something that caught the attention of our friend Galileo, who saw a light on the horizon. And with a light on the horizon, you guys pushed away from your treaded or the path that you intended, and you moved toward this light, which led to an island off in the distance. As you guys make your way toward the island, that light is still visible as far as you can see, Galileo, but it's not moving. It seems to be at the center of the island as far as you can see. It is close to nighttime right now, dusk. As you guys are about a couple miles off the island, at this point, the ship has stopped. You guys cannot go any closer to the island. You would have to get off and swim toward the island if you would like to continue moving that direction.
We've already been over this. I'm a whale.
The whale.
You know how we got there.
Go ahead.
So
Ask the question.
We've teed you up for this. Where does the whale like it? Lindsay, where do you want the seamen, who all of them are?
How does it get better? I don't think that turn of phrase could get better until you said that, man.
Okay, so Phoebe's a whale. She's a killer whale. And the entire party is either in her mouth and her back.
Are you a humpback whale?
Nice.
I can't wall shape into that yet.
Would you like to be?
Yes. I would like to be the biggest whale possible and see
Very able to get both feet in your mouth and on your
at the same time. At the same time. So,
Little spit roast, hey, good on you.
my mom actually found our D&D channel. Mom!
Hi, Lindsay's mom.
As a whale.
These are my friends. Anyway.
Thanks.
Lindsay, your voice has gone so high and low that we can't even hear you anymore.
Cheers.
Did you hear what I said?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay, but did you hear what I said about my mom?
Is your mom
So-
watching?
My mom was like, I would love to watch that. And so I'm like, yeah, this is the link. Like, you just go.
You gave it to her?
She
Well,
wants to watch TV. It's someone watching the video. So, hi, Mom.
shout out. This is
She's-
not being
she-
edited.
She's our 150 views because she's like, Lindsay said that? What? I have to go back and watch the whole thing.
Fine. I'm not. But
Did she go to church? Is she sharing it with her friends?
No. Mom's at a church person.
Hi, mom's friends.
Hi, Mom's friend. Circling back around. Anyway, so on my back and my mouth, we're going to switch it to order. Let's get to the island so that we can be done with the bit.
So, as you guys make your way onto the island, and Lindsay transforms away from the whale, potentially never going back to it. What would you guys like to do? The island. Again, the orb or the light that Galileo can see, and he kind of sees through. Let me describe the island a little bit. You see some palm trees. There's like kind of, I wouldn't call it a mountain. It's a rather small island, but there are some sort of like hills that are kind of smaller versions of a mountain. And it looks like in total, you're probably looking at a couple square miles as far as this island goes. So rather small. But over towards the hill, again, at eye level Galileo, but looks like through some geographical features, there is a light. So you have to maneuver around the island to get to that light. And it doesn't seem to be moving at this point.
If I'm not mistaken, he saw the light either underground or underwater. Is that correct? Like it wasn't above the surface, it was under?
So from the boat down, now that he's there, straight on.
Okay. Well then, I would like to take the party ashore and navigate towards the light.
Anyone perception checks as you begin to...
Yeah, I think Sylvie would probably just try to take a look around, like mostly on the sand, looking for any evidence of other people or life.
Yeah.
So if I could do investigation instead, that would be my preference.
Yeah, please.
I would join in on that.
Yep.
No, I won't.
26 perception.
Nice, okay.
22 investigation.
Okay, we'll tag team that. 2 great rolls.
17 perception.
Nice, okay.
And a 23 perception.
Nice, crushing it. Am I waiting on Galileo?
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine.
24.
Nice. Investigation or
Perception.
perception? Okay, you guys crush that. So one of the first things that you do notice is that there is about a quarter mile off north, we'll say. You do see that there's a boat. It looks like it is looks like a single person vessel. Maybe you can get a couple people on there, but it's not meant for a crew or anything like that. You do see that there are it looks like a bag, some rations kind of pouring out to the side of the bag. There seems to be a tent as well right next to the boat itself, but it all looks abandoned from a distance. Unless you go up closer, I assume you're just you see that, take note of it, and you're continuing in the direction of the light. One thing that you do notice as well, Sylvie, it seems like as you're going toward the light and kind of looking and triangulating the path from the boat to the light, you see some steps that look like they are calculated, moving forward very slow, and then you see the sand kind of kick up and it looks like something is running. So it starts at a walking pace and then begins to sprint away. You don't see a second set of footsteps, though, at this point.
I would definitely point out the footsteps to everyone, and just kind of see, like, it doesn't seem that there's a second set of footsteps. Perhaps it was something flying, and kind of like look up and like, are they tall palm trees? I'm just gonna like take a perusal around, or those who perceived, and take their attention up and see if that brings anything new.
Yeah, as you look up towards the palm trees, 10 feet or so, and they're also scattered, so it's not like there's like a tree line where you're like potentially being tracked by something above. You can see clearly through. Yeah, and you don't see any life here. You see the occasional like coconut, things like that, but doesn't seem to be any life sustained on this island.
Do we have any need for the boat? Raj says, standing on top of the water.
Our boat or that boat?
That boat.
That's a fair question.
I mean, it's never wrong for us to have a dinghy, considering we had to find another way onto shore. But
Agreed.
So perhaps if we come back and it's still there.
How far out's the dinghy? Can Raj just go grab it, or is it like a long trip?
So as you guys have kind of more like a brig, it needs to be set out further off so it doesn't get pushed short. This one is not that at all. It is literally on shore. Like he pulls it in on the sand.
I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, I would also like to check that out. I apologize. I misunderstood where the boat was.
Well, that's
Like
where
Like a rowboat?
Mhm.
Yeah, but a little bit, a rowboat's an easy way to put it, yeah.
Yeah, I would also be intrigued to look at that with Galileo.
At the boat itself?
Yes.
Are we splitting the party? So I'm going toward the light, or is everyone going to move towards that boat?
We can't see the light, right?
No, Galileo.
Only I can.
So yeah, so I guess we would all follow Galileo then. I
You
I
want me
would
to check it
set-
out? Or check
I
in with
would
you?
do if they check it out. I would do a perimeter.
Okay.
Well, we saw the bag of rations, the tent, and then the footsteps come from the boat, so we know that we don't know if there's anything else in there. So that's the only thing we haven't done. Is like,
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
It's like an
I
established
think-
campground.
I think we send Raj to scout real fast to go check out if there's anything in the boat, any clues,
Okay.
and then the rest of us will kind of like hold a little perimeter to go. Like Grant Man said, maybe keep an eye out.
Well, if
Mhm.
Raj,
Well,
I wouldn't let
yeah.
Raj go by himself, so I'd
Not
have my
far,
axe
right?
ready. No, but
Is
still.
is the boat on the way to the light, or is it no?
It's just a quarter mile up.
Yeah, we got 400 meters. We'll check it out.
Okay. So as you guys begin to move, some of you checking the perimeter, making sure that you're guarded, you do. Raj, give me an investigation check.
Then and I investigating something. What could go wrong? 15.
15.
What did your coffee just tell you there?
Mustering it up. There's no Baileys in there, unfortunately. So with a 15, Raj, a couple things that you notice. First, obviously, there's a ration bag that seems to be on the lower side, so it seems like this person, wherever their destination was, they've essentially packed, and there should be almost at their destination, maybe another week travel before they get to where they were supposed to go. But basically, that's your calculation on that. The next thing you notice, there's a open book at the front of the rowboat, and it looks like kind of a prayer journal, if you will. And it's constantly, as you flip through it quickly, the word Luxon just continues to pop up.
Is it in a particular language, like that Raj can understand?
This is common.
Common.
Interesting.
Is content shifting or something? What is it? What do you say?
I like flip it. I'm flipping through it.
You're flipping through it.
I don't know about stealing a prayer book. Greymore, what are your thoughts?
If you just ask Spinazzola about a book, we're in trouble.
Let me pull out my book and see. It doesn't hurt to look at the prayer book. We're just borrowing it at this point. We can leave a note. Right.
You're right.
We have your prayer book if you're looking for it. Reach us at yada yada.
Right. And we could leave some gold for the supplies we're about to take.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
We'll offer it as tribute.
I would like to see. Do I get any sense of like arcane force from around this? I don't have anything special to draw on that though.
You can just give me a straight Arcana check.
Yeah, you're on the other side.
got it.
Oh dear.
It's perfect.
While he's doing that, Greymore's gonna take the butt of his axe and start drawing in the sand. Borrowing book. Here's gold, and I'm putting an arrow, and then is there like in a bucket or anything? And I'm just gonna place it on top of the bucket.
Sure, let's say there's a nice cup in there
There we
Excellent.
with some ale, and you drop some coin in.
Perfect. It's a 9 for Arcana.
Nothing that you can tell. Even when you're reading through the common, there's no runes or any like attempt at magic as far as the book goes.
Sounds good. Raj would leave a couple of gold pieces where the book was as well.
Does the book look more like like you said, a prayer book, or does it look more like a diary type?
I'm thinking the same thing. Someone's journal,
Okay,
and they are
journal.
using it
Got
to
it.
pray. Yeah.
Got it. Raj would tear out a couple of the empty pages in the back of it and leave that under the gold coin, so they could still, like, if they came back, there'd still be some spots for them to like write down like prayers or whatever they needed to get out. But okay, I think we have exhausted this search. Shall we regroup with the group?
Yeah.
Thank you for the notes.
Kicks it as he walks by.
Yeah, drags my
Not intentionally. Just like
my tail drags through it.
I tried.
All right. So as you guys make your way back toward the light, is there anything anyone would like to do before they get to kind of the precipice of this point? Galileo?
All right, so I recognize this as like a part of this process of me gathering old components of my old self, right? So I kind of know I believe I know what to expect here.
Yep.
Okay. So a couple of things. Raj, I know you've changed a lot over the last year, and I think that's a strength of yours, being able to shed your skin and become something more.
Tis a snake thing.
Yes. So I would like to gift you this, and I'll cast Fortune's Favor on him. So you get to reroll a d20 for 8 hours, I think, if you want to.
Thank you, Tak. It is much appreciated. I don't have a gift in return, but your friendship. I will give you my friendship.
Thank you. May I have a scale?
But of course. And Raj will kind of reach on his like back, like on the other side of his hood, and like peel one off, and you'll like see him like flinch a little bit, or like bloody clean it off. I'll give it to you.
All right, so thank you. I'll take the bloody scale, and like you'll see like the eyes like on his face kind of like readjust, examine, flip a couple different things. A new little visor comes up, and kind of like it's a geometric looking one. It goes from like square and then shifts to a triangle and then to a circle or whatever. And he'll look over. May I have your hands? Not like the scale. I just need your hand on mine. Graymore, Rue.
And then
I fear this won't work if we're not touching. Okay, thank you. And so, like, I'll put the scale on top of everyone's hands, align my eyes to it, and then like there'll be a flash of like yellow light, similar to what Galileo sees, but like now that everyone else can see it. And I will cast Ryri's telepathic bond on all of us.
What does this do?
So like as you can see, like the rushes of like you kind of like you get like flashbang kind of where like your vision goes white and like your hearing goes out and you get a little tinnitus or whatever as it kind of fades back in. And as it fades back in, Manzioni, I'd like to kind of use that spell as a way to give them the power in the spell, but if you'll allow it, also an ability to see the light as I see it.
I'll allow it.
For the duration of the spell. So if I'm gonna do that, it's just telepathic bond. So until the spell ends, targets can communicate telepathically through the bond, whether or not they have a common language. The communication is possible over any distance, though it can extend to other planes of existence. So we can all hear each other. We can all communicate to each other telepathically. Not necessarily hear everybody's thoughts type of thing, but like if you say it and you want someone to hear it, they can. It's just called Telepathic Bond, but I think it's Rari's originally, Rary's.
That would have been crazy if you could hear all my mind.
If technically they want to talk, I guess we all could. So who knows what I just fucking opened up there. I also get a fourth.
They all started talking at the same time.
Yeah.
You wouldn't.
As
It's my turn.
as Spin reminded me, please make a D100 roll for me. And what level spell was that?
Oh, that's a 5th level.
You're right, it is very.
Yeah, it is. All right.
That's a 5er, baby. But it's divination, so I get a 4th level spell slot back.
Nice.
Let's go. Or I get an extra one, rather.
Last we left off, Galileo led the party. Let me put blame on a particular person here. Let me set the perspective, the propaganda, if you will, from my perspective. Galileo led the party astray, far off path. Not too far off path. He went to find a light that was glowing off in the distance, and he had seen these lights previously, about 117 other times.
Which I found. Mission accomplished, by the way. No,
Yes.
Keep going.
As you all got to this island, you found that there was an abandoned, kind of like a makeshift rowboat, for lack of a better term, with some supplies on it. It looked like it maybe carried 1-2 people, but again, very small rowboat with a little tent on the outside. Doing some investigation, you found that there were footprints leading toward a cave. Once you got into that cave, there was a bloodied body split right underneath the rib cage in two, and it looked like this person bled out in a very excruciating manner. The kill looked efficient, but nonetheless, the bleed out is probably what got this one. As you went and spoke to this person, as Raj did with his commune with the Raven Queen, was able to communicate with this creature, and Raj helped him find a little bit of peace, but he did warn that there was something looming behind you in the shadows, in the void, if you will. Out from this shadow, a creature that looked, again, black, shining, pointed armor with this mask that kind of points inward, with stakes going through it in various directions, approached Galileo as there was a light in the center of this cave, and essentially asked Galileo to pick a side. The betrayers were willing to have him on their side, as he was not part of the previous conflict, but he's actually a god that had helped them once before survive.
Daddy.
A daddy, if you will. Galileo ultimately chose to, well, I guess he didn't decide if he's going to help the betrayers, or the primes, or the betrayers, but nonetheless declined the offer that was
I love all my
proposed.
children.
Exactly. So with him declining, this creature picked up both of his blades and began to lay down fire onto you all. As of right now, the last thing that we left off on, this creature had just brought down the ceiling of the cave as you all had tried to evade. There is no exit available to you at the moment. As of right now, I think that is a blood wall in that purple line. Am I mistaken?
Stonewall, I thought.
Stonewall?
Hold on.
Stonewall.
Or does
that's
it
right.
go away
Yeah,
when he goes down?
It was
Oh, the stone
wall
wall,
of
yeah.
stone.
Good.
And my wall doesn't go down when I go down. It's not
Nice.
concentration.
Mine either. So when cut that.
Leave it in.
Okay. Hey, phrasing. So there's a stone wall. There's a stone wall blocking that was cast by Sylvie, blocking the fallen from you all. Unfortunately, though, as you guys were leaving, ceiling came down. Currently, Galileo is unconscious. Phoebe is unconscious, and Graymore he fell unconscious, but was able to get him back to stable. So technically, still stable but unconscious at the moment. Unless it brings you back to consciousness, you'll have to tell me if that's the case. Phoebe, does Stonewall go down if you go down?
Let me check.
Is it a concentration spell?
It is, as a matter of fact.
So I do.
So the stone wall is no longer viable.
So as it appeared for a brief moment, ceiling came down and the stone wall, we'll say, crumbled with it to the sides. So this creature sees you all, very much so. Last we left off, Roomberg, you are up as you see 3 of your comrades down. Again, you're not sure if Greymore is dead or anything like that, but he's also down.
Was that bringing down the roof? Was that his turn, or was that a legendary action?
That was the end of his turn. And now
Okay.
it is your turn, so you can use those legendary actions after you.
Okay. Did we? I think we did his necrotic damage on his turn.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So the wall is down. Let me get rid of that real quick. Just
The
so
wall
that I
is
don't-
down.
Just so that I don't forget.
Mr. Gorbachev.
I don't know how to do that. Okay, that's true. I remember that. Anyway. Okay, first things first. Oh, wait. First things not first. What do I have here? Whole lot of nothing. Cool. Bonus action, Comord's Grasp. So I need to give myself my temp HPs.
But I thought you said you were fine. No big deal.
I said I'm up. I didn't say I'm fine. I'm zooming in here, sorry. And he has a 10-foot reach, huh? Right, we've decided that.
10-foot reach, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so you leaving his space at this point would be...
Not a whole lot of stuff I can do there.
Did the wall not push him away? Like when it came up? Because it was
It is
supposed to
6
create at
feet
least
wide.
6 feet of space. Yeah, in the
so
middle.
it pushed him to 6 feet because I think he was right here. So
Okay.
it pushed him to there.
Which still
Just
would keep him
making
within
sure.
that 10 feet.
Yes.
Yeah, if he had
Okay.
a 5-foot
I
reach,
just
that would have
wanted to
been
make sure.
super clutch with pushing him 6 feet off.
That would have been super clutch.
Which we'll have to keep in mind strategically for future encounters with people who don't have long arms.
For future encounters.
Well, for some of you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that little bit one more time for me? I'm so sorry. What about his long reach? Anything?
He just 10-foot arm reach.
So even though he got pushed back 6 feet, he could still reach.
Oh, him. Okay. I thought
Yes,
you meant
him.
you. Okay, thank
No,
you.
him. And so... Is this... This is Terrainberg?
No, that is the Guardian of Faith.
Thank
Okay.
you. Good call.
I think that Terrainberg took a hit for Phoebe. I don't know if you've resummoned him since then.
Yeah, I do recall that. He poofed.
I think he only took 1 hit, and I raised him again the next turn instead of doing my
Okay.
arm, which I should have done instead. That would have saved me a lot of trouble. Okay.
Thank you for trying.
Nope, you're good.
All right, that's the end of Roomberg's turn. Next up
Yep.
is going to be Galileo. Before Galileo goes,
What?
I'm going to go ahead and burn my first legendary action of this round.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my legendary action, I cannot move. So I must strike what's next to me. Sylvia and Roomberg, you both are up.
Do it.
We are.
Let's see, 10 or lower. I'll go for... Okay, we're going Roomberg.
Love to hear it.
By the way, to determine who I wanted to hit, I rolled a natural 20. So I burnt the 20. And then
Oh.
on the attack for Runeberg, I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, good. Love to hear it.
The balance.
Yay!
The
That
balance.
misses.
The dice are balanced.
So there was a potential of 100 points of something crit damage that I'm sure you would have been fine with. It would have been no big deal. But nonetheless, first strike, as he goes to strike down, his kind of glance gets pulled toward Galileo, and he realizes he should be focusing more on Galileo.
Unnecessary.
Well, it is what it is. Galileo, you are up. And Galileo, before you went down, you went and grabbed the light and began to
Yes.
absorb that light. For now, I need you to roll a death saving throw in private without saying the roll. And then keep your phone next to you as I will have a
Hopefully.
question for you. Oh, and text me that failure. I'm sorry, that roll.
Text me that failure.
Who's on deck? I just can't remember the order. I'm sorry.
It is Fallen at the top, Runeberg next, Galileo, Sylvie, Raj, Phoebe, Greymoor. I think Raj and Phoebe are same.
Same turn. Yep.
Thank you.
I sent it to you, Mans.
Yep. It's even spicier that you're by yourself tonight and nobody can do a little peeksy poo and just.
We're pretty good when we sit next to each other for the death throws.
Yeah, we're honest.
I'm also not gonna
The
lie to
death
you.
throw.
I forgot where we were starting again until Lindsay texted us, and I was like, what?
What are we doing?
I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Okay. All right, I guess that's my turn because I just can roll, right? There's nothing else to do.
For right now. Yep.
Sick.
Next up is Sylvie.
Sylvie is going to first. She's going to go ahead and use her channel divinity to do Abjure the Extraplanar. So it's
Ooh.
basically turn undead for aberration, celestial, fey, or fiend. So I'm hoping it's a fiend. And it has to make a wisdom saving throw. It's only a DC
Is it
15.
the very least extra planar?
It is in name.
That bitch ain't from here.
A wisdom saving throw, was it?
Yes.
Okay. That's a natural 4, so.
Great news. So as an action, you present your holy symbol, which is the scar on my hand.
Nice.
And each aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend within 30 feet must make the wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. But I'm hoping it'll buy us a little bit of time. A turn creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly end its move in a space within 30 feet of you. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape. If there's nowhere to move, it can only take the dodge action. So basically, like, until it takes damage, it can only run away from me.
Mhm.
For my bonus action, I would like to go ahead and do insightful fighting on it. So I'm going to make my insight check if it can make a deception check.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. You ready for my number?
Yeah.
16.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Oh boy.
I know the answer. I think it wins, which is not a big deal. But I rolled a natural 1. But I have less than a 7 as an 8 for me, but it's only if I'm trying to tell if the creature is lying. I don't think this counts. So that would be a 12 total for me, but a natural 1. And then I would like to, I'm going to stay where I am, like hovering over Phoebe and trying to protect her. And having used my holy symbol on my hand to do my channel divinity, I'm going to just kind of say, like, Xerxes, if you are somewhere where you can get here, we could really use you. I'm trying to buy us some time. And I'm going to try to reach out to Xerxes with that.
Okay. Quickly give me a Arcana check here.
Oh
Do
my
it
god,
so
my
good.
dice are balanced too, man. I got a natural 20.
All is good in the world.
23 total.
20.
That's hilarious. I was like, I hope mine are balanced too, and it freaking did it.
I don't like the way these rolls are going. We're just we're like 3 turns into this, and I feel like my back's against the wall.
So 23 Arcana.
Really?
23 Arcana. Okay, 23 Arcana. And you cast Sending. Was that it?
Just kind of using my holy symbol
Oh,
and
the holy
hoping that
symbol.
Xerxes gets the connection.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I'll be damned with the natural 20. What is a guy to do? Okay. And what was the level for the previous spell?
It's just channel divinity. And so they're all just
No.
so it's just an ability or a class ability.
No.
And then my insightful fighting is also just a class ability.
No.
And then, I'll just kind of be like, he's scared. We have a little bit of time. And like, I'm just going to kind of like, I don't know, try to relay that we have a little bit.
Don't touch him.
Well, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Don't touch him.
That's fine. I'll go fuck myself. Raj, you are up. You and Phoebe up together. Phoebe, if you want to go ahead and give me a death saving throw here. Raj, go ahead.
ESP.
Raj is gonna turn around, kind of watching the cave collapse and seeing his fallen team members. He's gonna cast Mass Healing Word, which, as part of being a grave cleric, anyone who's at 0 gets max hit points,
healing.
max healing, which would be, I'm casting at 5th level, so it's going to be it's 3d4 plus my spellcasting modifier, so that is going to be 17. Anyone who's at 0 gets a 17. It's up to 6 creatures.
So is that all of us, or is there any? How many of us are there? 7. So
6.
There's 6 of us.
There you go.
So everyone gets, or anyone who's at 0 gets 17. Anyone who's not at 0 would get. Stand by.
Hold.
Uh, 13. Everybody else who's not at 0.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you very much.
Clutch.
So, as Raj looks back, you're going to see the Raven Queen mask kind of appear, kind of loosely over his face, and you're just going to hear "Rise" come up out of from Raj.
Hell yeah!
And this green energy will shoot kind of from the skull on his staff into each team member, providing them with life. And Raj isn't really going to be aware of that happening. If I can just RP that.
Sure.
And he's going to reach out to the Raven Queen and say, "We are in dire need of support if you are so willing."
Arcana check. Actually, 2 things before you do the Arcana check. D100,
Yep.
level 5 spell here. Come on, dice. Come on, dice.
Chrissy's dice, not now.
That's an 11.
Probably not what he needed.
It fails.
You touching yourself?
I'm sweating over here after this very rocky start for me. Okay.
It's all been legit rolls too.
Yeah.
Arcana
11. And Arcana
check
Yes.
is a dirty 26.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay. That's fine. It's all good.
And who's next to Raj? Galileo.
Galileo.
Raj will kind of help Galileo if he's able to his feet.
Hell yeah.
Hey there, Talk. Good to see you again, guy.
My eyes are like they were previously black, like not illuminated, but they like slowly start to flicker in with the same green light till they're all illuminated.
Cool.
All right. Phoebe, I'll give you a turn. If he did that before, I'll give you a turn since you're up. And
Yay!
then Greymore and
Okay.
Yep.
So as Phoebe kind of like sits up, and I think that she would just like reach for like the hem of Sylvie's sleeve just to like put a hand on her, and have her close, and remind me, which direction were we going towards the Twilight's Accord from?
Which direction were you going toward the Twilight's Accord?
Like
You
where
were
From the
originally-
northwest, I think.
So Sword Coast is we've kind of adapted it to our map on the eastern part of that map. You would have been going southwest to get to
Okay,
the
so
Shattered
we
Teeth.
would be northwest.
You would just be north of your trail, but not by far. Just by a day or
Okay.
two.
Cool. And we were like 4 days off? Like we were 5 days into the journey?
Yeah, I think you were
We're
about
on-
halfway.
I think we're only on day 4, yeah.
Okay. So just as a Hail Mary, knowing where we're going, is kind of a just in case. I'm going to use Phoebe's going to kind of like go into her mind space and find the trail in her brain to like one of the people that they met at the Accord. So like Cygnus or Victor, one of the two, and just send SOS north 5 days on an island trapped SOS to Victor, so I'm not sending a message to myself.
It's a little masturbatory, Lindsay.
Exactly. Like I'm trying to be real careful with it. That's my action.
Okay. Sending second level.
Yes.
I think it's third.
Is it third?
I'm
Third.
following Jordan's lead on that.
Go ahead and roll a D100.
Okie dokie. I really should have these ready. 51.
Okay. Victor, you do receive this message.
Now I'm getting the character. Okay.
And just to give context, because you hear the messages she sends, but just to give context, the Shattered Teeth might as well be something similar to that of Greece, where there are thousands of like little islands.
Islands to the north.
Yeah, so just around in general. So she gives you information, what you can actually do with that information, like even though you know the area. And again, the islands actually do shift. The Shattered Teeth is a constantly moving, it's like a puzzle. So
Turtles.
yeah, what you can do with that information, bunch of turtles. That's up to you.
So say the message one more time, or at least give me like a brief.
SOS to an island. We're on an island to the north on our way to you. We're on an island to the north on our way to you. 5 days out. SOS.
Copy that. I don't know if you want me to
So-
make any decisions or anything, or just
It just is just for you if you want to respond. There's nothing you'd be able to immediately do anyways, just because
Okay.
crapshoot.
Yeah, I would see if I'd recognize it, and if I knew it was someone from this group, or if it was like Phoebe in particular. We
Yeah.
would have met. If she's sending me a message, then I'd have the clerics try to locate her location and dispatch some kind of team to extract them.
Okay.
Probably work with Cygnus as one of her teams.
All right. So you're
SEAL Team Cygnus.
SEAL Team Sig.
SEAL Team Sig. But so that was that, and then for my bonus action, just to go ahead and do it, I'm going to also cast Healing Word towards. How are we looking? How's everybody? How we feeling? Victor Nation. How we
Spicy.
feeling?
Glorious.
Yeah, Nick, don't worry.
What's wrong? What did
Okay,
I just
cool,
do?
cool. So just
Back.
What was that?
since I know that Galileo is the target, I'm going to send a healing word towards Galileo and be like, "Good to see you. Good to see you." For let's do 4d4 plus 4.
You sounded like Victor there.
Do you want to roll that, Bill, or do you
Yeah,
want me to roll
got
that?
your Russian there.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see y'all. Go ahead and roll.
Okie dokie.
I'll take what you're given.
Dog shit. 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be 14 more for Galileo.
Thank you.
And that's my turn.
Oh, she did Arcane Victor. Got
Yeah,
it.
Arcane Victor.
Sorry.
Victor.
Okay. I don't like. Real quick, Sylvie. I cannot attack you. I have to move away from you. I'm afraid of
Correct. Here.
you.
Correct. Here, I'll screenshot it for you and send it to you. It's the Oath of the Watchers.
Okay.
There's something about using all abilities to get away. Can't willingly end within 30 feet.
That's what I need to clarify, and I need to know if I can do that with legendary actions. I feel like unless the wording is specific, I can use legendary actions because I don't have any legendary actions that can actually move away anyways from you. So let me just
A
clarify
turn
that.
creature, it says it must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can. So, I mean, like, if it doesn't have movement, then that's it. And it says for its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving.
So that's the part that gets you then.
Sounds like a dash action. Doesn't specify legendary actions. I mean, you can
Yeah.
swat at flies as you run away from them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's what
Yeah.
I'm going to do based on
I
that
think
reading.
that's fair.
You don't have to though.
Well, I think I will because I don't have the dash action as a legendary action. I have actually strategically kind of a fault on my own. I don't have any way of escaping with a legendary action. So maybe I'll
Oopsie poopsie.
which could have screwed me here, but nonetheless, I'm going to zoom in and snipe a prey. Okay, I've got 6 of you. 1 of you I cannot do anything to. So we're going to roll, starting with Raj at 1, Galileo 2, Phoebe 3, Sylvie 4, Graymore 5, Rimberg 6. That is a 3. Phoebe.
She's further than 10 feet away though.
This is just a legendary action. I'm using a spell.
Ah.
Yeah, not
Okay.
not striking. So, Phoebe, kind of almost whizzing. You kind of hear it before you see it. Going past, or sorry, Sylvie, you hear it before you see it. Something whizzes past you, and you turn and you see Phoebe is being struck by a black bolt. Phoebe, go ahead and make a con saving throw here.
Ah, shit. You're not a fucking animal, right?
No.
Didn't have a lot of con.
It's a 12.
Good roll. It's a good
Wait,
roll.
no,
It's
it's
not
a
bad. It's a solid roll.
14?
Above average
14
roll.
because of the thing.
Very above average.
Great roll. Great roll. Price is right.
Yep.
Even when you know it's failed. Great.
Gotta clap, even though you went over 100. Still clapping.
I think that price is $10. No, it's 40, but great.
Phoebe, 59 points. 59 points of necrotic damage.
Back on the ground. Woo!
As a finger of death whizzes past you. Or whizzes past Sylvie. And Greymore and hits Phoebe. Okay, that's the end of his first legendary action. Time to start speeding them. I'm going to burn one on accident. Greymore, you are up.
So I have to retcon since we ended the session last time to me feeding Lucas.
Mhm.
I have to roll for self-preservation. It has to be a DC 10 divided by my player level. So we're 10, right?
Yes.
So I would need to
You got
roll.
Is
No,
that your thing
I
to
have
stabilize?
to. So I have to retcon it because it's a reaction. So when I went down, I had to use it.
Oh,
And so if I
Okay.
do get it, then it brings me to 1 HP, which then means my HP is
Got it. You didn't
Yeah.
get 17, you got
Okay.
13 or whatever.
right.
Okay,
So
okay.
I have to do it that way.
Honorable man.
Okay.
If I get it, then I have to wait a long rest. If I fail it, then I still can use it again.
Yeah, you probably want to use it again.
So I hope to fail.
Yeah.
So I need a DC 15 con save throw.
All right, let's get a 14 or less.
Well, I have a +6 on my saving throw to con, so I need
Get
like
an
a
8 or less.
natural 1.
Natural 1. Let's do it. This is the time. Come on, natural
It
1.
was a 3,
There it is.
Hey!
so I got a 9. So I would have failed that, so that gives me 17 HP.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
So we casted that spell, or she casted that spell, so he has to move on that.
It's
No.
not a big. It's not a big deal if you do damage to him. I was just trying to buy us time to heal. a
No,
little bit.
yeah. Is it a line of sight thing? I guess I wouldn't know, so don't answer that.
He. Man, I mean, you can't really see any reaction, so it's not like he looks visibly
Right.
afraid of me, right?
Yeah, and he hasn't really done anything yet to like show that he's afraid or is moving away.
Technically, say fear or frightened in here, and I thought it did, and I've read it several times, but I don't think it says it.
It just
Okay.
needs to move away from you.
Yeah, they're just turned.
God, this is so overpowered.
Oh,
Just on a failed save, creature's turn for 1 minute or until it takes damage. Like no continuing saves. Hey,
It was really gambling that it was one of those. I figured it was, but I was gambling.
When you take this arch shape, you gain the ability to do.
bunch of dice rollers. We're all gamblers here.
Okay, so I can do it on a bonus action. Are you allowed to hold bonus actions or no?
no, just
No, okay.
actions.
That's actions. Okay, let me read this thing then. Sorry. Take the attack action. So would I be able to attack and then use my second action? My second action would have to be attack too, so I couldn't hold that second action. Okay.
No.
Oh man. Changes what I want to do.
Get him.
Get him. Already has to run on his turn. I'm worried about here. Alright, so are these squares 10 feet?
5 feet.
5 feet? Perfect. I'm going to use my action to create a blood wall. And I'm going to do this. So they just have to be connected to a surface. So I'm assuming this one right here. It won't let me ping. I have to be a character. What? Why won't it let me ping? This little rock above the fallen. That's pointing up, right? So that would be a structure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
then I.
Might.
That's what I didn't want to butcher. So.
Heights cling to the ceiling. Mites come from the
Oh.
ground.
There we go. I haven't had to think about that since we've had ropers. So that's
Uh-huh.
been a bit
Yes.
less evaded me since our ropers. Which, speaking of, I'm going to add them into our combat now since things are going sideways for me.
So
We're in a cave. There's definitely ropers here.
Has to be.
I summoned 3 blood walls, and I can connect one off of it. And then, so they're both. So I have 2 here on the right side of the fallen. I don't know if you can see my cursor, man.
Yep.
And then I have 1 here at a diagonal, however far. Basically, I'm trying to block line of sight to everybody because it has a DC. So that's the goal. Is it goes up and blocks line of sight. So they're just little blood walls.
How
So
tall
they're-
are they?
That's what I'm reading right now for you.
Okay.
Gain the ability to form. I actually probably wouldn't do that then. To me, it's a great wall. To you, you can step over it. So I'm going to retract. It's only 5 feet tall, so I'm assuming the fallen's just having a nice little dinner meal.
It's at like his belly button.
Yeah.
It's a great wall. My blood paid for it. All right, so I'm gonna retract that, and I'm gonna go ahead and stay. So he has a 10-foot reach, which I'm in right now.
Yeah, you can run out of it.
No, I'm good. Oh, trying to delete these. All right. So then I will go ahead and use. Well, I guess I can run up to it and run back 10 feet. So I'm gonna run up to it and take a swipe twice at it. I'm gonna use Rend on my
Wait.
first one. What?
Never mind. Keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna use Rend on my first one with Great Weapon Mastery, so I subtract the 5. But subtract 5, but I get to add a D4 for that hit because I used my blood feet. No advantage. There's the D4. Don't remember what needed to hit. 17 plus a 9 plus 8. 17 plus 8 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. So then that is D. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to do this one. D12. That's not a D12. Here's a D12 plus a. No roll. So that is not very good. 17 points of slashing damage on that first one.
Okay.
And then the second roll is just going to be straight up. A natural 1.
Okay.
No.
For the second roll. So I will then use. So that's my action. Is why am I doing that? I'll do that later. My action is to move 5 feet to actually hit him, and then, or my movement's 5 feet to hit him, and then 5 feet to move back. So I'm staying within his distance to hit. And then I will use my bonus action to heal myself with a potion, and I'm out of potions. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. For his legendary action, last one of the round, I did not get to use 3 because I'm.
You did one after my turn and missed.
Yeah, I just forgot to do one of them. Like I should have done one of them earlier on, and I didn't. I get 3 per.
Well, this would be your third.
This is the third one.
Oh, did I use 3?
Because you
Yeah.
missed,
Mhm.
you hit, and now the third one.
Oh, well, I'm happy then. I was sad for a second, and I was like, oh, I missed out.
I'm here to make your night better.
Thank you. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Thanks, Matthew.
Thanks, Matt.
What's this? Is this a spell?
Yes, casting a spell. You see this purple wave of like a circle, a 2D circle go out, and then it opens up into a cylinder as it hits the
Can
ground
I
around you.
ask you to make?
Son of a
Can
bitch.
I'm gonna try to counter spell that.
All right.
Up, 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 up.
I wish we were doing the new rules because that would benefit me a little bit. Okay.
Would it? I thought it would be better.
No, these
for
rules
you.
currently are broken. Like it's really easy to counterspell. Okay, this is a 7th level spell.
Okay. I guess I was just going to cast it at 3rd level, right? So you have to roll and beat a 13.
No, you were rolling.
To roll.
What do I have to beat?
17.
17.
And I add my spellcasting mod, right?
Yeah.
So what's your spellcasting
Or my
mod?
spellcasting mod or spell attack? Spellcasting
Oh,
mod. Probably.
Mod.
is it mod?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a +5, so.
Uh-huh.
All right, so you
I
need
need
a
it.
12 or higher.
Come on, buddy.
These are OG dice. These are the first pair of dice I ever owned. Natural 20.
Oh no.
There it is.
So I want Galileo to as he's being helped up by Raj, kind of reach out, and as my eyes turn on, they focus, and you see as the circle emits the light, there's these green cracks of energy, little bolts of arcane lightning that kind of negative deconstructive interference and it just kind of fizzles out in this fireworky purple and green energy that are fighting each other but not hurting anyone.
By the way, what you felt for a brief moment before that counterspell hit, your feet were beginning to lift off of the ground, and you all have been in this spell before as you were about to be reverse gravity to hold you all there. Okay. That's the end of his legendary action. It is now...
That was a spell I casted, right? Do you need a D100?
Oh, yes, thank you.
I do have a
How
question.
honorable.
Thanks, Bill.
Does Fallen have to roll a D100?
Well...
Because it's any spell?
I'm trying to think if I have... I think I gave you all the reason why you were rolling D100s.
Yeah, you did. You want to say it again just in case you forgot?
We definitely wrote it down and remember, but we want to make sure the viewers remember.
Well, in case I wasn't clear in my text in the beginning, you guys are casting spells, and there are people, betrayers, who are spying on you based on the spells that you use. So if certain numbers connect, then the betrayers have a direct glimpse at where you are in a moment's time. So that's what the spell is. It's not like you're gonna blow up or anything if a certain number hits.
Yeah, that's what he
might.
said when he told us last time.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
A betrayer just might show up if you hit the lucky triple.
That's why I was just curious.
A number?
Is it any spell? That's why I was saying any spell.
Any spell cast
from us. So we have a tracking device on us per se.
If the stars align.
I like to think we have a stink on us, and so anytime you use
It's a
like prime magic, it just smells, and they can find you. That's just kind of how I imagine it.
Yeah.
And I rolled
We're
a
just
natural
getting
one
random
on that dex save, so
fart
good job,
whiffs and Gordranus.
What did you roll, Bird, on the D100?
A lucky 96.
On a 3rd level?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it have to be a 97? Say it had to be a 97.
You're getting what it has to be. It has to be at the top or the bottom within that range.
Okay.
So
Oh
again,
my God.
you cast a 9th level. I'm looking at a 91 or higher or a 9 or lower.
Okay.
Oh my god.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay, thank you.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna start casting a lot of spells. That's all I'm saying.
I like my odds.
The odds are in your favor. It should not be easy to track you, but if you do get caught, I plan on bringing the wrath. Okay, so that's the end of the legendary action. It is its turn. It needs to move away from you.
Needs to fuck off.
Or because
it took damage.
So
why did it take damage?
Yeah, when did it take
Grimoire
damage?
hit it.
Galileo.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Grimoire.
Got it.
Grimoire did.
Fine.
Two
I would-
questions.
Sorry, never knew the spell.
No, it's fine. I told you it was not a big deal. It was just I was just trying to buy us time so we could heal a little bit. No big deal.
It bought time.
Is this the beginning of round 4 or round 5?
I think 5.
Okay, so I need a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. The rolls are terrible. Natural 7. It's going to be a 15.
Meets it, beats it. So you're going to be able to remove one after this turn.
Like that.
But this turn, you are going to take... no, delete that. Delete that. Go. 13 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And you're back down to 3 wounds at this point.
Okay. Now, for its turn.
Hey, go.
Let me see. I was right here. I want to make sure I'm giving you guys an attack of opportunity if I leave your zone and who those people are. So Runeberg, I think you're going to be able to get an attack of opportunity here.
Yeah.
Spirit Guardian will as well.
Spirit Guardian as well.
Well, that just says it makes a roll.
And Greymore, I'll give you that one too.
What do I do? Sorry.
Go ahead. Am I missing something, Bird?
No. I was talking to Chrissy.
Okay.
What am I supposed to do?
Attack of opportunity if you'd like. It moved 5 feet out of your space.
He wasn't in my space, but he was in Terrainberg space.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Who would be like, he would have been like right here. So I don't know if that counts. It was a nat 1 anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, let me throw him on anyways, just for our visual. You want him right here?
Yeah, it would have been like basically right on top of him. But either way.
Okay.
21.
21 hits. Give me damage.
Nice. Why did I put my D12 away?
Be good, Chrissy.
7 plus 7. 14 slashing.
Okay.
Wait, where is he moving that way?
Thought the same thing.
Whoa, wee whoa.
Me and Raj were like, no.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's moving that way? Golly.
I need a dex saving throw, mans.
Oh. 7 again. That's going to be 16. These rolls are pathetic on this side.
It's going to be 20 radiant damage.
Okay. Oh, it's radiant. Yikes. Okay. All right, so if everyone's had their attack of opportunity, it is going to look at you, Galileo, and it's going to swing heavy.
For this first, nope. Well, I kind of have to, because, maybe not. All right, do your worst.
30.
Yeah, it hits.
That misses.
30 to hit.
Damn it.
Okay. You're good.
$374 points of damage. Might as well be, right? Like
No, low roll. 54.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, good.
I was
Only
like, just don't be 118, just don't be that much, because it'll be nights out.
Okay.
I am unconscious.
Okay, it's going to strike on you again.
Sure. So, if for something to happen to something that you like, it says a creature you can see. That doesn't mean you are seeing it, right? That means you just can. Maybe your eyes are closed.
Because you've fallen down and you can't get out.
It does say a creature that you can see, which means you have the ability to.
If I can shout out, that is the most Nick wriggling thing ever. 100%.
I'm about his age now when we were playing, so
Chris and Lindsay have no idea why we're laughing, but we are laughing so hard right now.
I'm about. Shout out, Nick. Love you.
Rule lawyer, like, tries to twist words. I mean, unbelievable.
I'm not twisting any words. I'm reading them as they appear on the page.
That's what Nick said while you were DM.
Words mean
all the time.
things. Words mean things.
He made me a better DM. I printed out. I had a paper 2-sided mini for every possible creature that a druid could summon because one of my players was a druid and I didn't, and I knew he had the spell.
It's
Like Nick made me be that person.
and it's such a dick move on his part too, because he'd be playing Hearthstone like while we're playing D&D, and he would just put Hearthstone down for a split second just to fucking throw in one of those types of quotes, and then he'd go back to playing Hearthstone when it wasn't even his turn, by the way, to say anything. And
I will never forget. Cut this out, but I will never forget when we were playing, and he literally, his character Geralt,
the Unhinged.
Yep, the Unhinged came into the throne room when we're trying to do something, pulled his pants down, and was like, I think he either tried to take a shit in the throne room or he did. And then he was like trying to run away because his pants were down, and he was like, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything wrong. Like, what is happening?
I think he cast it on large on himself too, so he was a giant person running around doing this.
Why?
I don't know, but we remember it to this day. So,
and that was the 3.5 campaign. That was the very first campaign we ever played in, and I will never forget that. When it's just like, what is happening right now?
incredible.
Thank you.
Okay, so 21 to hit on the second one while you're unconscious. Galileo.
Does a what hit?
21.
Yes, because I don't have a reaction when I am.
You are down 2 death saves.
Yep.
Can I?
Or 2 failed.
Can I use my reaction?
Go ahead.
Ooh,
No, you didn't use yours. Go ahead.
Interesting question.
Yeah. So I as part of being a grave cleric, I can catch a crit and make it a regular attack. Would that count if he's unconscious? To make it just a 1 death save as opposed to 2?
It's an auto crit.
The book labels it
Nick
a
Wriggling
crit.
V2. I mean, holy shit, here we go. Yeah,
Double Nick Wriggling.
I don't see why not.
Can you read
Yeah, Chrissy.
Yeah, so it's
Chrissy Wriggling.
at 6th level you gain the ability to impede death's progress as a reaction when you or an ally that you can see within 30 feet suffers a crit. You can turn that attack into a normal hit. Any effects triggered by a critical hit are canceled.
100%. I'll give it to you. So those 2 death saves, we'll call it just 1, a regular hit instead of a crit.
Chris, we've been around that spell for years at this point, and I've never considered that use of it before.
Grave cleric.
Got you.
Fucking grave cleric.
Let's get it. Fuck yeah.
We are here for protection.
32
So
what?
good.
30 feet is what I was saying. So anyone in that area, like literally anyone here, can't be struck down. Okay, incredible. So that'll be the end of its turn. Roomberg, you're up.
Great. I love to hear it.
Sorry, Boo, I can't do the thing.
So,
Oh.
Okay, I got plenty of movement to move here. I'm gonna stuff myself right here.
I know.
I'm gonna leave Terrainburg where he's at.
Mhm.
Free action. The arm explodes
Okay.
in a cone in his direction there, so away from everybody else. So I need a deck save.
Deck save.
You were putting yourself in that tiny little spot there.
Yeah.
That is 9 plus 8, 17.
Okay, so succeeds. He takes half of 63. So 31
You can round
points
up
of
for that.
bludgeoning damage.
You guys can round up. 32 we'll take for that.
Okay. That was movement, free action, bonus action, arm. Because I need that temp HP. And then Terrainburg will come over and take his hits. 16 misses, 23 hits. Okay. For 16 slashing damage. It's my first good damage roll I've had this whole time.
Okay. Anything else for Roomberg?
Movement, bonus action, attack action, free action, done.
Okay. Galileo. before you go, it's going to take its legendary action.
Yes.
There's no more reaction to stop that from being a crit.
Oh
And
yeah.
you're doing this before my turn.
Yes.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
I'm going to
Yep,
roll
yep.
to see if it hits.
I don't think you need to, but you're welcome to.
So, 19 to hit.
Can you use reactions while you're unconscious?
I'm going to say, I think you know the answer to that.
I'd like to stretch.
I can intercept, but it only reduces the damage. It doesn't make it not a crit.
Yeah, it's just a
It says
would
when a
still be a
creature you
crit.
can see hits a
would
target other than you
yeah.
within 5 feet of you with an attack, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage the target takes by 1d10 plus proficiency. So I can reduce your damage,
Yeah.
but I can't make it not a crit, so it's still going to be 2 saving throws.
Can I
It-
use my reaction to dive in front of it by stretching?
And he physically stretch his body in front of it.
I'm going to say, to set the precedent, no here. 'Cause
No,
that would
yeah.
require movement and also
And-
doing that. So here's what happens, Galileo. As the first strike comes down, and we'll do this for flavor, that we'll say there's 2 strikes, although there's not actually 2 strikes because of the crit. But with the first strike that comes down, you feel your chest begin to cave in. And as he peels back the blade, your chest is exposed where the light is. On your interface, although your eyes are shut and you're unconscious, you still see your interface. You just don't see the world around you. Your index protocol has 119 orbs of light out of 120 that are needed. There is a massive rune on your screen that is warning you of an error if you proceed to try to use 119 orbs right now and trying to bring yourself to your former self without having the full capacity to do it, if you understand what I'm saying. So you can try to achieve godhood in this moment in lesser terms, but it could destroy you, albeit the same. Because again, you're not fully capable of doing that yet, but you can try. And by the way, as he strikes down, instead of that second one, he's going to reach in and he's going to begin to start pulling the light literally out of you. So you feel this struggle going on right now. And again, if you choose not to do it, maybe you can be resurrected or something, but you will die in the next moment. Because technically,
right.
3 death saves.
Okay, so okay. All right, so Galileo is going to see Flash in this couple sequences, but number 1, protect the light, and it's going to have like the objective of like collecting all the pieces of himself so that he can, reunite. He'll have this like vision of, I don't know, a kind of like glorious reunification or end to the conflict, the cosmic conflict that's tearing the world apart. And then flash to reality where it'll keep saying like protect the light, and his eyes will open for a minute and he'll look around at the people that are here with him, the ones he's been protecting with. And in order to protect him, he will attempt to activate that mode that makes him what he was, or something close to it, or at worst, blow this thing up with me.
What is your HP maximum?
59.
Okay, in this moment, your HP, as you activate this light, all of your interfaces begin to skyrocket. You can see your HP go from 59 to 1,180 HP. And you begin to, again, your spells shoot to level 9. The access that you have in this moment for a brief second is extraordinary. You can, although that's happening, you can feel your body moments away from completely collapsing because you're not physically able to hold this form at the moment. You have one turn in God form. You have access to 9th level, 8th level, 7th level spells. You have 1,180 HP. What would you like to do in your last 6 seconds, potentially?
You gotta let me read the fucking wizard book for a second.
Yeah, no pressure.
I shall also set the scene.
Time stop. Time stop. I want 4 more turns. I'm just kidding.
I cast a genie. I had like 3 more wishes. It is also in this moment to add to it. This bright light shines across the room, kind of blinds everyone for a brief moment as you see Galileo back on his feet, kind of elevated a little bit or levitating a little bit off the floor. Behind the fallen, you see someone holding his arm back from pulling that light out of Galileo's chest moments before. And you see Xerxes behind him beginning to pull him back as Galileo is able to kind of levitate a few feet back and get away from him for the moment.
I'm gonna action surge.
Yeah, you are.
I guess I'm a god. I don't know. Can I do that?
Do it.
I'm multi-class into fighter, sure. I'm gonna do 2 things in this arcane mode. Number 1, this is probably not imaginative, but I'm going to take one of, let's say, like a diamond out of my spell cast. Nah, I don't like that. I'm gonna grab a handful of dirt and sand out of the ground and crush it in my fist as I like point it towards him, and I'm going to cast Imprison on him.
Okay.
So I need him to make a Wisdom saving throw.
In my mind, you were going in this direction, but not in prison. That's not what I thought. Okay, in prison. Wisdom
Can you use a
save.
portent to make him fail?
I can. He rolled an 8.
Okay. Wisdom plus 7, 15. So, tell me what happens with imprison.
So it's like the crushes like the sand in his hand, and he holds it open, and there's a like rough prismatic diamond where all the sand has been crushed into it, and you'll see it like. And as everyone like looks at the gem, they can see like the picture of the scene of what's happening. And then as it like kind of zooms out of the gem, like you can see the fallen, frozen in the diamond in the gem, and not with us.
And the duration of that spell? Do you want to mention it to them?
No, I think it's a long time. Hang on.
It's until literally dispelled.
You
like
die?
the object
Yeah.
is dispelled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So if you take that object and bury it,
so that'll happen, and then like as it like falls down to the ground, it'll land at Sylvie's feet, like as if intended for her. And action surge. I'm also going to use the wish spell, I think, to restore everybody to full health, like right after a long rest.
okay.
Probably myself included. I don't know how that's going to work, but
So, in this moment, all of you, as though you took a long rest, fully healed, spells back. Galileo is at the end of your turn, so we can get to that part.
I can keep casting spells until you tell me I
I
can't.
would like it if he kept casting spells, please.
All right, you ready for the next one?
He's just gonna walk around casting spells so he stays alive the
I'm
entire
gonna
time.
Looking at ninth
fabricate-
level stuff and just like
No, I'm going to go 5th level. I'm going to fabricate a body for myself out of my old body.
Mending.
Yeah. Fabricate's a 5th level spell. It ain't nothing. I think I might be stretching it, but I'll upcast it at 13th level.
So, anything else for you, Bill? Or sorry, Galileo.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry for the boring wish obvious cast, but I had to do something cooler first.
No, that's
Absolutely.
perfect.
Beautiful.
So, as you levitate, as Xerxes is holding him back, this creature drops into a diamond at Sylvie's feet in but an instant. How would you describe the wish casting? Like, is there a beam of light that goes to everyone? What do you see that as?
It's kind of going to be in the opposite order. I just wanted to be better narratively, but it'll be like as the burst of energy as Galileo gathers up all those powers from the broken shards, the beam of energy will flash like lightning through the room, and everyone will be stunned for a minute and realize as they come out of their stupor that they're fucking like 100p. And then after that's happened and they kind of tune in and see, that's when they get the scene of like the fallen being sucked into the gem and then the gem falling at Sylvie's feet.
As that gem falls to Sylvie's feet, you watch Xerxes take a step back. Galileo, his chest exposed from when the fallen was trying to reach in and grab it. And you can see Galileo's chest begin to pull in like a black hole. And you watch the inside of his chest completely, all around his rib cage, so to speak, goes inward. And you can see his body being pulled into this, and what was, for lack of a better visual, a perfectly normal soda can is now crunched into a ball. And as he falls back in his disfigured form, a cloak of black feathers catches him before he falls and is holding him in place from when Raj reached out to her with a 26. She holds him as you all witness this. What would you guys like to do?
So Sylvie would be up next in initiative, and like she would have been like pulling back her whip, ready to strike this thing, and then seeing it just fall at her feet. And seeing Galileo kind of being crunched in, seeing Xerxes kind of coming to the help, and being completely overwhelmed with everything, as I'm sure everyone is. Sylvie's going to drop her whip. She's going to run towards Galileo, grab his face, put 14 hit points of lay on hands, knowing it's just desperately trying. And she's going to look at him and say, "You are the Luxem. You are reincarnation. You cannot die. As long as we believe in you, you cannot die." And she's just going to look at him and think and wish that and try to make sure he stays here with us. And that's what I'm going to do.
Who would like to go next?
Is he on the ground or is he like hovering because he was in the air?
So the Raven Queen is currently holding him in his lifeless body, disfigured body. Like she's on her like one knee, kind of holding his body kind of up. But again, he's like laying flat almost.
How high up is that?
She's on the ground with him.
Okay.
Like so, just a couple feet, like her knee off the ground.
Well, I'm only a couple feet tall, so I wanted
Right
to
at-
see if I
right
could
at
see
your eye
what
level.
was going at.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely can. And just so we're all on the same page, Galileo is dead at this moment. In case that visual was not clear.
What?
I know.
Are there like bits of him around? Like
Imagine his normal body just like broken and pulled in at every part. He still has arms, still has legs, but again, disfigured, pulled into his body, fragmented, destroyed, but there's still the skeletal of him that's being held currently by the Raven Queen.
So there's no like sparks of light in him.
The chest is open and the light is still there, but his body is not responding or connecting with that light.
Okay, Runeberg casts True Resurrection.
Like
As a
stretch.
level 10
No shot.
fighter.
It's just Runeberg doing a funny dance.
You,
Like,
you see the Raven Queen even kind of.
I think that.
Wow.
Go-
no,
go
go
in.
Raj. No, go Raj.
Raj being right there, kind of seeing everything happen, kind of at his feet, would drop to his knees, pleading with the Raven Queen and any other god that he can think of in his brain. He'd be pounding on Galileo's chest with all of his might, trying to cast Revivify over and over and over and over again until his hands are bloodied. The skull of his staff is cracked from trying to put so much energy into resurrecting or revivifying and saving Galileo as tears of every color are pouring from his eyes, different kind of spells and magic just kind of dripping, oozing from him as he pours every ounce of anything that he knows into saving his friend. They'll just be pleading with the Raven Queen and Galileo not to go.
Before the Raven Queen goes, I want to make sure everyone else has a moment here, or before she speaks.
Go ahead, Lindsay.
I think that Phoebe would have started like being next to Sylvie and like kind of like she's got one arm under Sylvie's like arms, like trying to hold her up and brace her and support her. And while that's happening, like she's trying to druid craft the crunchedness of Galileo back open and like trying to like use vines to pull it back apart and like restore him to like a normal shape. And like it's not much, but just trying to like reshape him as best she can.
And I think for visualization purposes, like Sylvie's going to be at his head, but like behind him, like kind of cupping his head where like the Raven Queen's like holding him up and she's just like looking down at his head that way while like Raj is kind of at his chest. Like that's where they are.
Do we still see... Okay. Never mind.
Anyone else?
So the light in his chest is no longer connected to the skeleton?
It's still connected, but it's clearly not connected because his body's not animated. Like there's a disconnect between the light, and his body.
Does it appear to be the same light that we saw holding up in the cave?
Yeah. I'm sure he's shown the inside of his chest to you all before, and it is still the same.
usually when you don't want me to.
Yeah. Or when you
Galileo,
randomly
not
go
right now.
show guards.
I'll have a trench coat after this.
Yeah, I was gonna
episode.
say he comes running out of trench coat. It's like Okay.
Anyone else?
As the
I have-
latch, I'm sorry, goes spin.
No, I don't know if I want to do it. What I was thinking. So go.
As a last ditch effort, Raj is going to yank the Raven Queen necklace off of his neck and put it against the light on, or the burned out light on Galileo, and continue to try to beat it into his wreckage corpse.
So, in this moment, as you all are dealing with this form of grief in your own way, praying, pleading that he comes back, the Raven Queen is kind of analyzing the body, assessing as well as she can, as she has not ever dealt with a form or creature like this. Raj, she looks to you with her porcelain mask and she says, "We're going to try to resurrect him, but it's going to take everyone." She's going to begin to ritual cast resurrection on a form that is not of this world.
Resurrection.
So that's a bad one. On that,
That's
you,
from South Park. I'm
you-
not taking credit for that.
you fail 1. So I'm gonna ask. Everyone can make a contribution
What level is this?
to this resurrection. In other words, you need to, if you would like to step up, you need to help the Raven Queen connect who Galileo is to the soul so she can find him. So, again, this could be a religion check, this could be a dexterity check, however you want to flavor it in your mind. You just need to be able to connect those two things, and then I'll have you roll for it at the end. So, I'll give you a minute. If anyone knows what they would like to do to contribute, you can go ahead and step forward now.
I don't know yet.
Sylvie's gonna go ahead and like just kind of like look at the Raven Queen, look at Xerxes. I would imagine in the whatever way the Raven Queen can, she's probably mourning herself. And so Sylvie's just gonna like take her scarf that she has, like wipe her tears away, grab out her little glasses, and she's gonna try to like investigate. I want to make this like an investigation check. I want to really look at him. I really want to kind of give the Raven Queen like, and it can be insight too, but like that time spent with him, that knowledge that we've gathered, the books that I have, and like really try to give her like the facts, because that's what she knows.
Okay. For this, would you like to roll an investigation, or would you rather roll insight? I don't know if there's a difference in your modifier.
I mean, they're technically the same, so it doesn't matter to me. That's kind of the flavor. We could do insight if you want. The little glasses technically give me advantage if it's within a foot, but this obviously isn't the same kind of concept, so
I'll allow it.
You're right up there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in it then.
Okay.
Okay, for a 12 and a 13, it's a 24.
Okay.
She's gonna like take out the book on the Luxem and everything, and like all the stuff that she has, and she's gonna like just go over facts is what she's gonna do in her moment, and like make sure that she's not resting anything on like Galileo. Like she's just gonna be very respectful about it, of course.
I'm going to say that you're doing this the entire time that the resurrection spell is cast. So that way, even though other people are coming up, you are still in the background feeding her information as she is searching.
Yeah.
Who would like to step up?
So Raj has like blood on his face right now from his hands being bloodied from the pounding on Galileo's chest. He's going to reach his hands down into Galileo's former chest where the light was, slicing his hands up even more, just draining his HP as he like reaches in to put his hands around his heart, the light, to try to bring him back the way that Galileo brought Raj back in that moment, impaling his hands onto the broken shard of light, searching for any arcana that was left, the fleeting sparks of blue or purple coming out of Galileo at that moment, searching his last memory banks for it. And while he's doing this, with a blood-soaked face, he'll just look up at the Raven Queen with the most sincere face that you can picture in your mind. He won't even say a word to the Raven Queen. Just in that moment, the glance into her black eyes will convey everything that kind of he's feeling and needs to be said that doesn't need to be said out loud.
And she does acknowledge you, and she nods as she then refocuses on her craft as she's continuing to cast runes and magic, trying to bring him back. What would you like to roll for that?
That's going to be an Arcana check.
Yeah. And I will give you advantage with the Raven Queen right there with
Great.
you. Hmm.
20.
Dirty. No. Natural. Clean. Pristine. 20.
A sanctified 20.
27.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Only fitting with the Raven Queen beside you. My last two, would you like to contribute here?
No pressure to roll 20s.
It's okay. I think what Phoebe would do is just like focus on the light and like the warmth that Galileo has always brought to the party, and like the warmth because of the light, and the warmth that Phoebe knows is like the warmth of the hearth and the warmth of home, and how the light within Galileo's chest mimics that. And it's very small and it's very gentle, but I think that Phoebe would take the moon signet from her forehead, the Saloon signet, and I think that she would place it on the light as best she can, if she can sit it there, and just kind of assist the Raven Queen in like breathing light back into the light, and just kind of start casting like moonlight around it to kind of maybe not stabilize it, but like wrap it in moonlight as well to encourage the light to stay close.
Beautiful. Do you want to do religion, or what do you think of that one?
Does nature feel good?
I'm fine with nature.
It's not an 8, but it's a 15?
15. Again, while Sylvie's in the background speaking, Raj making acknowledgement with the Raven Queen also looking at what Runeberg has created, showing Galileo. There's a moment where she briefly looks to you, Cygnus. She looks to you, Phoebe, and she says, You're far, my child, but I hear you. And you know she's not talking to you, but to what you did. And you maybe get the idea that she's speaking to Saloon in this moment. Last one.
Phoebe would just like ring her koi hand tattoos as she's casting.
Anxiety cast.
That's how I live.
In typical Greymore fashion, he will not approach Galileo. He'll go and walk away from a distance and sit behind a rock so like no one can see him. But he is telepathically thinking and not realizing that it's still connected to everybody, is painting pictures in his head of Galileo, and each like slideshow, if you remember like the little things we used to look in, you push the button, it turns in. It's all, each one is the 5 different personalities of Greymore, and Galileo being by his side for each one, Galileo being by the side of Greymore, no matter which Greymore was out there. So even the purple dye Greymore that tried to kill everybody, Galileo was there trying to save Greymore. So each individual scene that Greymore's painting for the Raven Queen is him just accepting Greymore who he is.
You guys are trying to make me tear up. That was beautiful. What would you like to roll for that?
Feels good roll?
Yeah, you're tough. Feels bad, man.
That's a plus 25, right?
You guys are crushing it.
I honestly, I don't know what... that's what was taking me so long. I don't know how to classify that for rolling. I guess perception, understanding that he's there, always next to him.
Yeah.
Lance came out to give support too.
We had to have one. It's okay.
A natural one.
At least it was beautiful in the moment.
In hindsight, every picture that was painted is just darkness because you can't paint a picture telepathically for voice.
Okay.
You just look over at Greymore and he's like, I'm painting you guys a picture, and he's just talking to himself.
You are painting it. It's beautiful.
In this moment, you see the glyphs around begin to fade. The purple energy that was being cast dies out. In this moment, the Raven Queen lays Galileo down flat onto the dirt, rocky ground. Xerxes standing back, watching over this. Greymore a few feet back as well. You guys begin to hear popping noises, like loud pops. Magnitude.
Stands for magnetic
Pop,
attitude.
pop.
As you hear the first one, some of you look around to see if there's a foe nearby as it echoes in this chamber. And then you hear another pop, and it begins to echo in an uncontrollable fashion. Begins to pierce some of your ears to the point where you have to cover them. And as you look around the chamber, you all refocus back to Galileo, whose body is being popped back into place. All of the fractures in his body are beginning to reform into the shape of Galileo as it once was. As his body comes back, the Raven Queen closes the front of his chest, says a prayer, and vanishes. Galileo's eyes begin to pop back on. And that is where we will end tonight's session, with all of you taking another level.
Oh my god.